Good morning to you on a Monday, getting a live look over False River, courtesy of Our Lady of the Lake Sky 9. Blue skies, blue water, but it is very cold out there, 43 degrees. When you factor in the winds, feels like 37. Wind gusts right now around 20 miles per hour, and they're going to be gusty from time to time throughout the day. Yesterday getting to 71 degrees, a little bit below normal. We're going to be a lot below normal on the high and low end over the next couple of days. Certainly so this morning, getting all the way down to 38 degrees, and that is more than 10 degrees below where we typically are. Not record territory. You have to be colder for that. And here comes the freeze watch as the real cold stuff is going to arrive tonight going into tomorrow morning. So this freeze watch begins at 9 p.m., goes to 9 a.m. Tuesday, and a big part of the viewing area will get their first light freeze of the season. Meanwhile, this morning's lows actually not that far off from light freeze territory this morning. Macomb getting down to 34, Bogalusa made it down to 37, and Baton Rouge still 38 degrees, not too shabby. Record lows are up for grabs, certainly in jeopardy for Tuesday, because the record low for tomorrow is 32 degrees in Baton Rouge, set back in 1991. Our forecast low right around 30 degrees, so we shouldn't have too much trouble snapping that record. Not only the freeze watches, but we also have the red flag warnings that are out from 10 a.m. through 6 p.m., and that's for the combination of dry, breezy conditions, winds around 20 miles per hour, dew points down to the 30s, and not only that, we still have drought conditions out to the west and back to the east. But you can see we're kind of sitting pretty here in the middle in Baton Rouge. Still no sign of drought, not yet anyway, but if we don't get any meaningful chances of rain in the next week or two, that'll change. Satellite radar is very, very quiet close up. You got to zoom all the way out. That's what's left of the cold front that knocked temperatures down the past weekend, and there are snow showers drifting from Chicago, St. Louis over to Cincinnati. A lot of those areas had their first snowflakes of the season just this weekend. So the high temperature for today, as I mentioned, they're really going to struggle to get up there. Low to mid 50s in the afternoon. That's really about it. So you're going to want to keep that jacket handy even throughout the day. And then low temperatures for tonight going into tomorrow morning, hovering right around 30 degrees. The graph printing out several locations that might even sneak into the upper 20s. The only good news is this time around, by tomorrow morning, the winds are going to be totally shut down, so we won't have to worry about any kind of wind chill factor then. But again, this is likely for a light freeze, and then the low temperatures pop right back up. So this is going to be the one and only chance within this 7-day forecast. But it actually is very close to being right on cue. Today's November 10th, and wouldn't you know it, our average first frost every year coincides right around with November 10th, and the average first freeze is usually a couple of weeks after that. So usually we knock out both of these things during the month of November. With that forecast and a light freeze, you're going to want to protect 3 out of the 4 Ps. You don't have to worry about wrapping pipes, but you could also get an early jump. It certainly wouldn't hurt anything, and then you'll be ready to rock and roll for the rest of the winter. 53 degrees for a high today, staying sunny, cool, and breezy. Then for tonight, the winds begin to die down as we get temperatures below the freezing mark, clear and dry conditions. But in the 7-day forecast, it's not going to stay the case. Matter of fact, by Wednesday and beyond, we're going to be back with highs in the 70s. We'll lock it down in the 70s in the 7-day. And then wouldn't you know it, the next chance of showers and thunderstorms looks like it's going to come next weekend. It is now 9:20. We have more coming up.